today we're going to have a special guest. You know, we're always talking about moving, you know, people should move here to Iloilo City. And one of the biggest questions come up is, yes, but how accessible is this city for people who might need some help getting around, that kind of thing? And what if I'm over 60? Those kind of things. What kind of services? What is so great about this city that would be an ideal location for everybody, for all ages and everybody? And I have a Vietnam vet here, right? And honestly, the chance and the opportunity to meet a Vietnam vet and to hear some of those stories is 1 in a million. It's really difficult to get the chance and the opportunity. So we really appreciated it because your stories, Bianca and I have never stopped talking about. So I should go back a little bit, rewind a little bit. This is Ed, by the way. So say hello, Ed.
Hi, guys.
And is this your first time here in the Philippines?
Yes.
First time in the Philippines. Now you've been here in Iloilo for?
Since the 6th.
The 6th, okay. And today is, so you've been here for 7 days so far here in the city. So this is why his knowledge of the, you know, and his experience so far is probably pretty important to a lot of you. We are currently in Bavaria restaurant. So if you come to Iloilo, come and check out Bavaria. If you love some 1 liter beers, he got a different one. He got a Pilsner, and some schnitzel or some sausages or those kind of things. All right, so first impressions though of Iloilo when you first arrived. What was your first impressions?
Well, you see, my impressions are sort of directed by you guys, you and Bianca. I was already prepared for the city. The only one thing I wasn't prepared for were the slums. But
sure.
They are trying to do what they can there.
Yeah.
But my impressions were fantastic. And then when I found out that the airport is actually going to double in size in a few years,
yes,
with direct flights from all sorts of different international companies, it made it even better.
Yes, it definitely. And that was a recent announcement. They literally just renovated that whole airport. And now they're doubling it immediately. So, and believe it or not, things happen extremely fast here. You know, they just had a concept only 2 months ago, maybe 3, where they were saying, okay, we're gonna try to do a coastal road. And the problem with the coastal road was relocating any of the unhoused, I don't know how to explain it any other way, people that don't own the land but they're living on it. They have to by law relocate them all. And so then they just said, okay, well, why don't we just build the road, you know, on the other side of them, basically, and not relocate them, and let the free market deal with it afterwards, because the property prices will go up, blah, blah, blah. And so guess what? People are like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. They started construction this week. They have already started on the construction of the coastal road. They're already putting pylons out into the beach areas to start the new road, and they're gonna put it just on the other side. They're not waiting. So things happen very, very quickly.
They have a very good dowry, don't they?
Well, there's some kind of funding going on, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's an important thing because Iloilo has everything but that beautiful waterfront side along the sea. You know, we have the rivers. Rivers are covered, but we don't have the seaside yet. And so that's going to be a huge thing for this city.
You see, when I come to the city, I mean, like, I've been fairly all over the world in basics. I mean, there are definitely spots that I haven't visited, but this place covers everything, unless you want to snow ski. I mean, then you got a problem.
Right. Yeah. No snow skiing here.
But of course, you could have the Arabians come in and build one of those.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe.
People from Saudi Arabia will be like, that's it, we're going to put an indoor ski resort.
Well, they built one right next to NetLife in New Jersey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard about that.
So that would be fun. I can't snow ski anymore, though.
No, those days are done, eh?
Oh, they ended in 1968.
Yeah.
So
Ed was here, or he was injured in pretty badly, and I don't know how much of the story you want to tell, but do you have a Cole's Note version, a short version?
Short version goes from the front door to the back door. Is that okay? Basically, my platoon was going to a hot LZ, which is the term used for firefight as you're like entering the landing zone, and you could see the tracers going all over the place as the NBA were aiming at the choppers that were landing. So the chopper pilot just said, "I'm not landing, you guys are airborne, you're going to prove it." So took the chopper and we all fell out.
Wow.
So there's no morning reports on it, there's no history on it, not even on me.
They covered
The
it right up.
whole thing disappeared, and in 2 weeks I was off the hospital ship sanctuary and back on duty with a bum back. So
Unbelievable.
it's common practice. Forgive me, U.S. government.
Yeah.
You know, it's common practice to cover your ass.
Yeah, cover your ass.
No matter
and
what
And
the-
I don't think it's just a U.S. one. I heard it in Canada as well.
The thing is, you think better of a democratic country that was born on principles.
Yeah.
I do have to say that the VA, the Veterans Administration, has taken care of me as well as they can, fantastically. They've done everything. But unfortunately, I can't get my back injury taken care of until I can stop drinking the suds.
Oh yeah.
So,
They don't allow it if you don't.
on that
Drop
note,
this.
can I have
Yeah. Can we get more beer, please?
Yeah,
Another round, please.
I'm gonna try.
Oh.
I'm gonna try yours.
All right. You're gonna have diesel. It's sweet though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. 2 diesel. Thank you. As a Vietnam vet that has some difficulties moving around, how has the city fared? Now keeping in mind, people always compare to United States or something like that. And, you don't come to the Philippines and then have that expectation. I think you're just setting yourself up for a disappointment, because do you want to pay those kind of taxes? Do you want to have all the things that come with being in America? Or did you come to the Philippines to escape? And so your expectations should match reality, right? I came here to the Philippines, and I think it is extremely impressive when I have a lot of good services, the ones that I really need, available to me here in the Philippines. And that's so people are like, how can you be positive? And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of haters for that kind of thing, but I think that's because their expectations are in the wrong place.
I think that's very true. When I came here, I physically had no expectations. Since I've been to quite a few places, and I even have a place in South Korea, I'm used to, like, okay, the sidewalk's not going to be straight, and there's going to be some bumps in it, so be careful. That kind of thing. You have to expect that. The United States of America, which is what I should compare it to, because that's where I'm from, is supposed to be perfect. No, it's not either.
Yeah.
I mean, there's places all over the United States that don't even have sidewalks.
Right, sure.
I mean, and any of you New Yorkers know, as I'm from New York, the sidewalks there aren't too great either a lot of times. So, it's all how you look at it.
Yeah.
Being handicapped, yes, everybody's starting out with the ramps on the corners of the sidewalks and designated handicap parking. Now, and which is a joke in itself. The first ones that get the handicap spots are the ones that don't need them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because they want a short.
Or they have a relative and they just use their
A
so
short
they can use
walk
it.
to the local department store, rather than having to park 20 feet away. Yeah, here in Iloilo, you have a lot better chance of being able to go from one area to another with assistance. Every place I went, no matter what it was somebody to help me. The people here are so friendly. They're so heartening, and they have so little.
Yeah.
These poor people are making like $6 an hour. I mean, a day, if they're lucky. Not an hour, a day. and they live in these little shanty towns. I'm embarrassed to call it a slum. I don't know what to call it. So the
Informal housing.
most decent thing would be squatter housing.
Mhm.
But they always go out to help you. I would have 3 people helping me down a set of steps. I went to a lounge last night and had some beers, and I had 2 women take me all the way up to my hotel room.
Wow.
And then they just, they got me in the door, and then they turn around and they said good night.
Wow.
The next day, the guys downstairs said, "How come they left so quick?"
They were expecting something different, eh?
Yeah,
They were literally
expecting,
just helping you.
Yeah, they thought I was going for twofers or something.
Right.
But and it's happened twice.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. The kindness and generosity of the Filipino people.
Right to the front door. I had another taxi driver. I cannot walk. I can go from the front door of my house to the back door of the house, and then I gotta sit down. I had a taxi driver pick me up, and he volunteered. I didn't ask him. He just, "Do you need a ride? You look like you need a ride." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm just going around the corner to the mall." And he said, "Well, hop in." And I said, "Well, I was expecting to pay the 44 pesos."
Yeah, the minimum charge.
And so he went around the corner. Then he went all the way down, took me right down into the front door. And so it didn't read anything. Couldn't see anything on the panel. And he said, "Bye, see you later."
Wow.
He did not want, and this is a guy that probably goes home to one of those little cardboard shacks.
Potentially. Some jobs do pay well. I do want to say that minimum wage here is about $10 in this city per day. But there are plenty of people that do make good money. It depends on the job.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some that if you hustle more, like a cab driver is a hustle more job, and if they hustle a lot, they could make pretty decent money for themselves because it's not a wage, right? They pay X amount for the car. But either way, it does show though that that mindset that everything is a ripoff. Everybody's trying to rip you off. That kind of thing. Everybody's up to something. That kind of thing. A lot of people have that mindset, and that's not always true. Sure, you should always be wary and make sure you don't get ripped off. But for the most part, I got to tell you, out of all the places we've been here in the Philippines, this has felt like the safest place to be trusting.
I would walk here in the middle of the night, and I have.
Right.
And all I've had is people help me. Now, if I try to walk in the middle of the night in, let's say, Chicago or New York City, no offense, guys, I'm just using it as an example, and I had this cane, the first thing they do is rip the cane out of my hands and hit me in the head with it.
Sad.
And then say, "Where's your money?" And that's a fact, Jack. I mean, that's just the way life is in Western countries. And not all of them, just some of them.
Sure.
But
Well,
it's enough.
and it's more likely,
Yes.
right, as opposed to here.
I have. Everybody I've talked to here, and yes, I haven't been here that long, but I'm a talkative person, and like you, I like to question things and find things out. And everybody I've talked to, if they're an expat, they love it. They love the people. They love the way the people help you. They'll give you their last peso if you needed it.
Yeah, that's true.
Very honestly.
The people are fantastic, and so what do you think of the main infrastructure of the city where most people are going to move to? Let's just say that.
I think that they're very well planned. And this is probably one of the few cities when you're going into the new mega world or the SM area, things like that, where they've actually built their own apartments, stores, everything you need. You don't even have to leave their mega world area. You can get everything done, including probably visit your doctor or whatever, all in one little area. And if you're a healthy person, you can probably walk it.
Sure.
Now, in my condition, I would have to have assistance or take a taxi. Very short rides.
Yeah, very short rides. That's true. So another thing they do here is they put the driver's license office. They put their version of FBI, their IRS, all that stuff. They put them all in the malls, and so you don't actually have to go downtown to some office. You want to pay your city hall taxes, whatever. They put them all into the malls now to make it very convenient for people, so that you don't have to go wandering, and causing traffic and build up and everything else for something so small like that, right? They'd rather people that are going in is just to go to work or you go shopping and that kind of thing, and all the little tiny things that get annoying to do. They try to make it as convenient as possible. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah. They also have a unique system where you don't have to renew your visa. They have somebody that can renew it for you.
Yes.
Okay, for a small fee. They'll do the standing in line and whatever is necessary, and all you do is wait a few days and you've got your new visa.
That's right. And a lot of people don't realize that because it says no fixers, but what they mean is the unregistered ones. There are people that are registered by the immigration office that are legally allowed to go on your behalf and do that. A lot of employers do that here, where they have foreigners working at their company. Well, they just have somebody go and just file for them, to bring their passports, everything, and just take care of the paperwork. So yeah, you're right. Makes the life a lot easier.
Yeah, I've when I went to the mall, I have this habit of grabbing a shopping cart if I can to support me as I'm traveling around.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot better than trying to use a cane because I wind up sitting most of the time. But anyway, they have in this here SM Mall, which is directly across from where I'm staying, they have a market. They call it a supermarket, but it is actually more like a Walmart.
Yeah.
Because it's got almost everything you need.
Yeah.
And everybody here is always complaining about expats. They can't find the right size shoe or sandal or whatever, because the sizes of Asian bodies is a lot different than that of Westerners. But there you can, because I bought a pair of sandals that fit me perfectly.
Oh, good.
A size 45.
Wait, you found a 45? Oh, I'm gonna have to check there. So I have one of those problems. Most places I go is 44 and
it ends at 44.
That's right, it ends at 44. And I think I'm a 46, but either way, that gives me hope that they had a 45. Because I'm size 12, so
yeah.
I think that's 46. Yeah, so it is a lot easier to do, though, obviously. And the bigger brands, you're gonna get those bigger sizes. So.
Yeah, I mean, this store has refrigerators, washers, everything. Well, maybe not dryers. I didn't check that.
Yeah.
All sorts of TVs, and I thought when it said supermarket, I was just going to go in and buy some food. No, they should say Walmart.
So
because it has everything.
You're here for how long again?
I'll be leaving here on the 26th.
On the 26th. And is there an intention to?
My reason for coming here now was to see, first of all, if I can be acclimated to the climate.
Right.
Okay, because I come from New Jersey, which is considered a colder climate.
Sure.
And I'm surviving, and I thought to myself the other night, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, and you're here in the worst month, so if you're going to test it out, come here during the summer when it's so hot and humid. But when you leave, the temperature is only going to get better, and we're going into what they call the burr months.
Okay.
Right, which they feel like they need to wear a coat, where we're just like, okay, now I can turn my air conditioning off, and where it's in the mid to low 20s. Right? I think we saw a couple days that were 18 degrees, and we were like, oh my gosh, I think I need a long sleeve shirt.
Can you turn on the heat, please?
Right,
we don't have heat here.
No, there really is no need. You just put a long sleeve shirt on. But yeah, Filipinos will wear coats here, and I'm like, what?
Yes, I see it all the time.
I won't need that.
Even now.
Yeah, well, the sun. You know, people here will avoid the sun is like crazy. When I rode the motorbike through the Panay over here, I didn't think of it being in the sun that long, and I never get sunburns or anything. But I started getting blistering, and so I had to buy. They have these sleeves that you can buy for your T-shirts.
Yes.
For motorbikes.
Yes.
Right. And so I finally bought those, and then it was fine. I've learned my lesson. If you are going to ride on a motorbike, you wear a long sleeve shirt. Absolutely have to.
Yeah. So tell me something. Is there a German in you or what?
Yes. Yes. There is German in me, so that's why. So I don't burn normally. I just tan, but like an olive-ish tan. But yeah, that was my one time though.
Yes. Yeah. Well, don't do it again.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I think it's like a combination of windburn and sunburn.
Could be the windburn. Yeah, you're right.
Because I can be out in the sun all day long, and
Yeah, especially if you're going into the provinces.
yeah, and I don't wear sunscreen or anything. So I go beaches, I go wherever, and
Oh, you don't want to be paying for sunscreen here.
yeah, sunscreen is expensive. Now a lot of people don't realize though that the ingredients in the sunscreen is different here. And a lot of doctors, even in the U.S., I'll say Asians really know how to do their sunscreen. So what's in them here apparently is why it's more expensive, but it is more reliable.
It's more natural.
Yes.
As I have said, I can't maneuver well at all. I have basically no mobility, is how it's put in the notations of doctors' reports. So I found out that the SM Mall actually has a medical store inside it. So if you need anything from a Band-Aid to surgical equipment, you can get it in this store.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be going there and purchasing a rollator. A rollator is something for you handicapped people that don't know. It's the new version of a walker, and it's actually a roller, not a walker. But it's set up so that it even has brakes
Wow.
and a seat,
Oh, that's great.
which is the most important thing for somebody like me, because I can put on the brakes or just stop and turn around and sit down and take a break.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one thing I probably when I go, because I haven't yet been to the Mega Mall, I would really want to go around and see exactly what they have.
Yeah, Mega World is a smaller mall. Festival Walk is a smaller mall. SM is the biggest mall. Robinson also has a huge mall, but that's downtown. And so where you are located, SM is going to win by far.
Yeah,
By far.
And that's 5 stories.
Yeah.
And lots of wings also. It's an interesting thing because, guys, if you're from the United States, you know that your malls are disappearing. Not one by one, by the dozens. If you look on some of the other YouTube channels of the Dead Mall series, you'll see that everything that you cherished from more beautiful buildings are gone,
Yeah.
or soon to be gone. And the usual reason is once they close, and in come in the kids and the vandals to take care of all the glass that's in the mall. It's a shame, and it's made me feel very sad.
Yeah. Amazon's taking over the United States.
Everybody blames Amazon, but actually it's really not Amazon. The malls are going downhill before Amazon even showed up.
Yeah, the malls aren't providing what the people are wishing they would provide.
Well, and it's also that the culture has changed. In the old days, there wasn't anything else to do but go to a mall.
As a teenager, I hung out in a food court.
Food court or just near Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that. Near the fountain, whatever. But as times changed, cars became more prevalent, people's desires changed. So they didn't want to go to a 10-screen movie house inside a mall. They wanted to go maybe to the real thing or something.
Right.
But yeah, the malls died because of lack of interest, not because of Amazon. And I'm not defending Amazon. This is not a commercial for them, by the way. I'm just saying that Amazon is only one of the maybe dozen reasons that malls have declined. But here in the Philippines, if you're a mall lover, come here, baby.
Yeah. And they make the malls fun here.
They do. They do.
There's a lot of entertaining things going on all the time.
And your wife is an example.
Yeah, the cosplay. She loves the cosplay.
Yeah, at the, remember the Christmas pageant?
Yeah.
And also had the modeling.
Yep, she did the modeling in there. Yeah, that's true. And there's so many different events like that are always taking place in a mall.
And it surprises me because the malls around me, they never did jack.
Yeah.
That wasn't bleeped, I just
He bleeped himself.
Yeah, it was more for profit, and that was it. They didn't care. And then they never upgraded the malls. They never made them more modern. They're still living in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, and here it is 2023. And you know, if you look at these malls here and see how well they're designed, and they're, by the way, they're not that much newer.
Right. Yeah, some of these malls here, 20, 30, 40 years.
But they update them.
Yes, they look new.
And they make them that way. The mall I visited, SM Mall, they're already out for Christmas, and I went in there, and it looked like General Electric Lights owned the building.
Right.
I mean, it was fantastic. Awesome is the word.
Yeah.
They start Christmas here a little early.
Yeah. So if you had a family, you can't imagine not taking them there.
Yeah, I mean, it's entertaining, and there is one area. It's not right around here, but it's close, where the entire town made the park a adventure land for Christmas. I wish I knew where that was. But there are lots of ideas out there that these folks do just for the families.
Yeah, very family oriented that way.
So if you got a family, you know,
you're gonna love it.
And if I can take the heat, by the way, guys, anybody can.
So tell me though, so we know this is a great place for families, and we've known that since we've been here. We've been trying to explain to people like this is the most ideal place to raise your children, that kind of thing. But how is it as a single guy? How has it been here for you? How is your luck?
I haven't. Well, my situation will be different than most.
Right.
Only because of my handicap, but not sounding goofy or anything. That's also a great way to meet girls.
Sure it is.
I've had the girls help take me up to my hotel room, but turn right around and go back home.
Yeah,
so
full respect and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I get some phone numbers and some names and whatever.
So if somebody's single watching this right now, you'd be like, you know what? You'll be all right.
Yeah, come visit me at the Injap Hotel, and I'll clue you in.
There you go. There you go.
And there's a punchline for Injap, huh? But yeah, it's a nice hotel. I do like it. Yeah,
it's directly across from the SM Mall. We've never shown it or anything, but you know, we did. We've already met with Ed. And we had a couple beers up there. We did a lot of chatting. Before that, where did we go to eat before that?
The mall.
Yeah, somewhere in the mall.
Yeah.
Oh, Bread Basket.
Bread Basket.
Yeah, we went in Bread Basket. That's where we met him for the first time, and then after that, he's agreed to come on and talk to all of you about his experiences, and also just from somebody who literally just came here, first impressions, and hear what his take on the whole city is, because we find it very interesting because we came from a probably different perspective than some other people, and so it's great to hear from your perspective.
But everybody has her own story.
Yeah.
and their own reasons why they want to be here. Some of them could be anything from tax evasion to, you know, starting a new family.
Yeah, looking for a wife. You never know.
Yeah. This is not going to be Angel City or Manila or something like that, where it's all
Focused on that one thing.
Yeah, it's all focused on the attributes of a woman.
Yeah.
It's more like you're here to enjoy the other people in a good way.
Yeah.
Everybody's
very livable
here.
city.
Yeah, it is. And the main thing is how well they treat you. For people that have nothing, for them to smile from ear to ear is amazing.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
I have
It's
such
very genuinely.
Yes. There's stories about one area near Manila that had a bad fire that burned down half of the
Area.
squatters area. Literally, I mean, the only thing left in water, they were even in water, were the piers, the old telephone poles they used to hold up the houses. They're still smiling, and the smoke hasn't settled.
Yeah.
They're still smiling,
They're
and
looking
God
for the
bless them.
positive in everything. Yeah.
This is a country that is full of religion, and the people are very vibrant. They're just full of life.
Yeah.
If you want to see a culture that should be an example for a lot of people, this is the place.
I agree.
And Iloilo is the best of the bunch.
You heard it there. Look at that. We've been saying it for a long time, but to hear it from somebody else.
Well, I had a lot of training. It's called research.
Yeah, you watched a few of our videos along the way.
Actually,
All right.
it's known as I did the least amount of research that you spent the most time on.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Ed, thank you very much for this. Let's have a cheers. Cheers to all of you. Maybe we'll see you all in Iloilo as well. And
Hopefully.
thank you, Ed. Thank you so much for the sharing with the rest of everybody else.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you. And guys, we're waiting for you.
At 29 and I find myself wondering, what did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again.